Well, hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to a Star Wars review, and this one's on Ezra's speeder bike from 2015, of course. So on the front of the box, or front of the manual, have the Lego Star Wars logo, and same border as most of the sets from the time, and picture of the set in action on the Thal, and the Star Wars Rebels logo, Disney logo, and set number 75090. And then backside of which, how to win on the online survey. And then as seen on Star Wars Rebels, and in-show picture of the group and most of the Star Wars Rebels sets also that were out at the time. And then so join in different languages and for the website from the time. And then advertisement of all the minifigs that came in the sets at this time and the pieces that come with the set, this set, of course. And then the very last building steps. And now, on to the minifigs. So first off, we have Ezra Bridger, which same version that came in the Phantom set of the last wave for that, but however this set, $5 cheap, or was $5 cheaper to get him, but then he did also come in the $110, what's it called? Republic Frigate. Or just Rebel Frigate, sorry. Which was out the following year for that. But however, in this set, first time of him having the lightsaber that made with the binocular piece. But however, the reason why it was like this is to represent kind of the launching or little blaster feature that it has. Well, I think that if this were made now, I think there should be an all-new lightsaber hilt piece that holds both the blade and a blaster in it as well. Which I think that could be possible, but yeah. But however, everything of which still the same as is. And next to which we have the Rebel style Imperial Stormtrooper, of which same that came in the battle pack and also in a couple other sets of the wave, as well as the following year as well. But otherwise still, and also angry clone face underneath, but otherwise still great for army building, of course. And last of which is the one that's exclusive for the set, well, exclusive for the time, which is the Bean Bratton, and also her first appearance as a fig, which for the armor of which, or the torso print leg printing, quite good for how it is, and also the printing similar to most Mandalorians, since she is a bit of a Mandalorian. And whereas for the printing, some say it might be dark red for the printing, but however, when say it should be dark pink, or it should be pink, but actually it's kind of a dark pink for that, not really dark red. And of course with a rebel symbol on there as well. And however, the rest quite nice. And also wielding two different blasters that, like the earlier Stormtroopers also had, and also later Mandalorians as well. And however, the hair piece of which sculpted very well for how it is. And also notice the darkish blue color that it is, which I think should be the color that Ezra's hair piece also should have been. But maybe if this whole set did get a remake eventually, that could happen, but yeah. But however, the face printing, which quite nice and quite good for how it is. And then as for the back torso printing, which also quite good for how it is, and also have a nice double-sided face as well. And also one thing missing from this is the Mandalorian helmet piece, which there wasn't already a piece for it prior to this set, but however, one set that included her did include that piece. So obviously, a little bit misleading for how that is. Although it would have been great if that piece would have been included in this set. It didn't have to like get her in the extra large Imperial assault carrier that was out in the following wave, but yeah. And that is about it with the minifigs. And now, onto the build. And as for the builds of which are just two little speeder bike builds, although the name of the set is just Ezra's speeder bike, but kind of odd how there's more implying to this set when obviously this is two builds in a single set for that, and they're just near identical to that. So this, which kind of feels like some earlier Technic sets in the early Barnacle Rocky sets, where it was like two that were the same but just different colors, and also just, but in that case, different modifications here and there. So kind of odd seeing that here in Star Wars, but yeah. So I'll just start off mostly with Ezra's. So like for this front part of which does have this curved slope piece on top with a sticker on. Well, there's very few stickers in this set for that. And I see good consistent color scheme of like dark green, silver, dark light gray, and orange for that. But however, and also do have a couple of wedge plates on the sides to be like extra front flaps to it, and also a grill piece to get some extra hover power into it. But then also, as you can see, does have a couple of the piston pieces used in like some Technic sets and previously the Barnacle Hero Factory sets. But they're for a feature, which with the little rod pieces in there, which if you can, they move up and down or in and outwards. But however, in a lot of cases of this set, the front part oftentimes popped out because these bar pieces were just oftentimes kind of tight in these pistons. But however, not sure if it's on because for mine of which how it moves just fine. But since I got this used off Bricklink, it probably just maybe warped a bit or whatever. But I'm sure yours probably also does, and maybe yours still has that issue, but whatever. And now on to the upper part of it, with these smallish bar pieces holding those pistons onto it, and also a little dish piece with a print of with cord stripes on it, although kind of very little bit matching the ones on the slope here. And then also do have the little city gas pump pieces, which we oftentimes also saw on as pistols on Jango Fett, but however in this case used as handlebars. Kind of interesting. And also have a little tan seat on there with 4 studs on there, mainly to sit Ezra onto, and also have hold on to the handlebars, of course. And then as for and also as you see, kind of around like 2 bricks or 3 bricks thick, or 2 bricks and 1 plate thick, with a couple of snot bricks on the side holding stud shooters, which you can launch off like so. So at least that was a good feature of this set. Then on the farther back side, which is just a couple of brackets with wedges on it to be like extra hovering flaps to it, and then also this one which is a sticker with the other rebel symbol onto it, and then on the back side of it is a couple of vent pieces on there, and then also a couple of longer cheese slopes as well. And then the upper part, which pretty much is a clip part that holds this wrench piece, which you can either have it hold the wrench or his lightsaber onto if you wanted. Well, either one. And also underneath are the inverted curved slope pieces, but in clear, and obviously represent like it's kind of hovering, and it does go around quite well for how it is. But yeah, and that is about it with Ezra's. And now on to the other one, the Stormtroopers one, which obviously all just the same as the other one, but instead of dark green, instead white for how it is. Obviously fitting to the Imperial and Stormtrooper vibes to it, but however the sticker up front, different style to it, which is just plain white with some gray lining on it. And then not only print on this dish piece, although I think there could have been some of that anyway. And then backside, which not much go into it, although maybe there should have been a sticker with the Empire symbol on it, since Ezra's one had the Rebel symbol on it. But that's just me. Then the backside, which same sticker as the other one, but just in a different way for how it is. Obviously, to be a little extra different than that. And then also same clip feature, but of course can obviously clip his blaster onto it if he wanted. But yeah, and also same exact stud launching feature as well, and there. And that is my end. Of course, same thing. And that's about it with this one. And now on to the verdict. So for my overall verdict, I think this is a quite good set for how it is. Like, do you get 3 good minifigs? Well, at least good way to cheap way to get Ezra, but also first time and good way to get Sabine. Although would have been great if her Mandalorian helmet also could have been included. Well, even though it did come in a couple other sets, it's a little bit later anyways, but still would have been great if it was included here. But although, and as for both of the builds, which quite good for how they are, well, despite having the pull up front type feature, but otherwise still quite good for how it is. Well, whereas for the Stormtrooper one, I think should have had some markings to it to represent Empire that it is, or to note that is for the Empire. Even though if it didn't have that, might be could have been mistaken for a different kind of one. Oh wait, although there were white speeders in the Snowtrooper battle packs and things, well, maybe that's no surprise, but yeah. And as for Ezra's one, neat seeing this neat color scheme for it, being of a dark green with a little orange to it. But however, this set, which also works out as a good parts pack, which for both white and dark green, and also a few technic pieces to it, like the piston pieces for the middle parts. And what else to say? Not much. And also good that there was a little bit of playability with the stud shooters for that. So now, if this set were made nowadays, I think it'd probably include the 2022 style stud shooters, and also Sabine would most likely contain her Mandalorian helmet, of course. But although Sabine did also have a speeder bike like this, but that was in Ahsoka for that. But maybe that could be a good chance for an Ahsoka show set. But yeah. But however, this was still quite good for how it is. But yeah, like a good small cheap way, and also good, and again, cheap way to get Sabine to finish off the Rebels group. And yeah, that is about it. And I guess that is about it then. And now, for any of you who still have this set from back in the day, well, I hope you had some good memories of it. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get this set, I say definitely pick it up. eBay, Bricklink, Bricari, Bricks and Minifigs, whatnot, whatever. And that is it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.